Aquaman, Aquaman, no one greater than Aquaman, king of Atlantis, king of the sea. Where the danger is, that's where he'll be. Always defending you and me. Aquaman.
So it begins.
Legend has it that one day a new king will come who will use the power of the trident to put Atlantis back together again.
It's the exact spot that Volko gave me my first swimming lesson.
I already know how to swim.
Not even close.
Is he dressed as General Zod?
You have to forget all the teaching of the surface world. Go deeper.
Spider-Man!
Uncover your Atlantean instincts. He spent his entire life training. Training to be the best.
Like no one ever was?
My parents made me what I am.
What, a bro? A frat boy?
I am the protector of the deep.
Or a protector of the deep, I guess.
In this trident resides the power of Atlantis. In the wrong hands, it would bring destruction. But in the hands of the true heir, it would unite above and below.
The time has come for Atlantis to rise again.
We must stop him.
That's pretty cool.
You propose we do that?
By retrieving this.
I already got one of those.
Not like this one, you don't.
The war is coming to the surface whether you like it or not.
Go, go, Power Rangers!
You believe you'd be the one to unite our two worlds.
It looks a lot like Avatar, with the bright neon.
Now I need something more.
And obviously like the flying, or I guess swimming creatures in this.
But what could be greater than a king?
A hero.
That looks really cool. I really liked the music in this trailer, actually. You know what? I speak as I find. For people who have seen my previous reaction videos, and for everyone that's very kindly commented on them, by the way, please go and check out our Aquaman comments video. It was an absolute trip. I haven't been liking the DCEU so far. I haven't been liking what I've seen from the trailers of Aquaman so far. And you know what? When it comes out, it could still be the same. Like, I could very much not like this film. I will speak as I find, and this isn't me being facetious or anything like that. This was definitely the strongest trailer that we've had so far. That being said, I still have all exactly the same problems that I've had with my previous trailer reactions, namely Jason Momoa as Aquaman. I really don't like his portrayal of the character. In this trailer, they kind of kept it more to the sort of vacuous trailer lines like, he's destined for greatness, he's destined to become a king, you need to do this, Aquaman, and you need to be awesome, and everything like that. We didn't really get much of him in this trailer. It was more just sort of the setup, a lot of his backstory, a lot of his growing up, and I like the fact that, and I'll talk about more of this in a minute, I like that we are getting to see his childhood and training up to become Aquaman. That's a thing that I absolutely loved in Wonder Woman, and I think it's something that's been very neglected in the DCEU. With Man of Steel, we get quick flashes, but they were kind of based on the same principle in each flashback. It was all, you're going to be destined for greatness one day, Cal. And then it was cut, and then we see him do some Superman stuff. And then it was another childhood flashback. You're gonna be the savior of them all, Cal. Like, you're gonna lead them to greatness. And then that motif was repeated in every single flashback. So I hope, when I heard like the things in this where he's getting childhood lessons of you're going to become a hero, you're going to become a king, you're going to unite Atlantis, you're going to rebuild it. I really hope that that isn't exactly the same thing that's repeated in every flashback. If it is indeed going to be told in a linear fashion, it might be very much non-linear like Man of Steel, but I hope it's told in a linear format. Although I think we are going to get flashbacks throughout, kind of like how this trailer did as well, how we see him flitting. Like, I remember having my first swim lesson here, and then it will flash back in the movie and show that. But it's just Jason Momoa. I really don't like his portrayal, and we know that he's going to have exactly the same bro-ish qualities as he did in Justice League. That is kind of what has been set up for the character now, and what James Wan and the writing team behind this film need to continue if it is going to tie in indeed with the greater DCEU. We don't even know if the DCEU is going to continue to be a thing. It seems very much in jeopardy at the moment. There's a lot of side films coming out, and a lot of... It seems like the studio doesn't have a very clear goal. It doesn't have a clear trajectory of where it wants to take the DCEU, or if it even wants to continue it, especially with the rumours that Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill have a kind of won out as quick as possible of the characters of Batman and Superman, respectively. But this is the best put together trailer out of all of them. It kept Aquaman's bro-ish qualities to a minimum, although we know that they're still going to be in the movie, and that's why I said that when it comes to the movie I might still have a lot of problems with it. Unless they make him have a compelling character arc and he becomes the Aquaman that we want him to be, and Jason Momoa kind of completely changes his acting and portrayal of the character by the end of that movie, and I just don't see that happening. The battle scenes in this look very, very cool, and as I've said on my previous trailer reactions for this film, they are the elements of the film that I'm most looking forward to. We've got these giant Godzilla-sized fish by the looks of it, these sharks, we've seen like a cavalry charge of seahorses, giant crustacean tanks, we've got lava, we've got water, we've got pretty much everything. And that looks visually stunning. It does look really intense, really creative, as I said on my previous reactions. So that is the elements that I'm looking forward to the most. I'm not a Marvel fag. I am not a Marvel fanboy. I do not suck Kevin Feige's dick. Story-wise, it does look very similar to Thor. And granted, maybe the Thor comics when they were released did borrow a lot from Aquaman. But my point is what we've seen as a collective people on the big screen in the superhero genre. We have seen Thor since 2011. And that character is very much, and that mythology of like Asgard and everything like that is still very much in the collective consciousness when it comes to superhero movies. So to see another mythological superhero like this following the same vein, I don't know if it's Aquaman's brother. I don't know loads about the character. But it looks like there is this character that maybe is his brother or some familial tie who wants to take over the surface world and rule over them, just like Loki, Thor's brother, in Thor and indeed Norse mythology. So it is very similar in that regard, and I don't know how you could avoid plot points like that. If that is indeed straight off the page and tied to the character, then you know what, adapt it like that, that's fair enough. I don't really know what else I can say about this, really. I've talked about that, you know, the battle scenes look great. I'm very interested that James Wan is directing. He's one of my favourite directors in the horror genre. I know he's directed action films before. He directed Fast and Furious 7, which wasn't my favourite Fast and Furious movie, but he's essentially proven his chops, and he is proving himself to be a very versatile director and isn't just limited to the horror genre, although I think that's where he excels the most. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings with this. Based on the previous trailers, I've seen that a lot of the action scenes are filmed very interestingly. In the previous trailer, the extended video, we got that one tracking shot that follows them all across the rooftops. That was very creative. We haven't really seen something filmed like that in the current DCEU, and I think that that looks... You get a good sense of geography and the pursuit of the main characters. My biggest fault is that our foundation at the moment has been very shaky. It's almost been irreparably broken for me. Because I haven't really... Apart from Wonder Woman, I haven't really cared for any of the previous movies. And I don't know if at this stage it's too little too late. I don't know if you can course correct at this moment. I think DC are probably going to move more towards the realm of standalone movies and kind of abandon that whole Justice League and shared universe thing. Even to the point where I believe they've rebranded their universe now. I believe it's called the Worlds of DC or something like that. I don't even know what Warner Brothers are doing with these properties at the moment. I really want this movie to be good. My biggest flaws at the moment are it might be a very derivative story, and the acting. Jason Momoa is the biggest red flag for me in this movie because I haven't cared for his portrayal of Aquaman. I don't think he's a very good actor. I don't think he's a good dramatic actor. He was very good as Khal Drogo, but as I've said before as well, I think he's good when he's playing a kind of sort of like barbarian, very guttural alpha male kind of character. If you give him a lot of material like this with a character that does have a lot of lore around him and a lot of stuff dramatically that you could do with the character of Aquaman, I don't think he's going to bring it. He looks the part. He looks like a badass. Like, you know, he looks imposing. But beyond that, from everything that we've seen in the trailers so far, and indeed what we saw with his character role in Justice League, he isn't giving me anything that isn't anything short of just being a frat boy of a bro, throwing out quippy one-liners all the time, and he doesn't feel like a character. And I guess that's where I'm going to round off my reaction, because otherwise I'm just going to be repeating myself. So that'll do it for my reaction to Aquaman final trailer. Be sure to comment, subscribe, let us know what you thought of this trailer. Did you like it? Didn't you like it? And guess what, guys? Both those options are okay. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to stay up to date with all of our latest movie reviews and trailer reactions from myself. That'll do it from me, and until the next video, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.